Alright, happy Friday everyone. So I thought I was going to show you the mallet head today, but I was going through this Word document that we had here for our pegboard toy. We finished the assembly yesterday. We put the pegs in, we created the base, and then I showed you how to put the ends on. And so that assembly was done. I was thinking we were going to start the mallet head. That's my favorite part. I'm scrolling through this Word document and it says alert. I was trying to find the mallet head and I get to this part that says alert. It says I have to add a triangle peg to this thing. I have to go back and I have to edit this drawing so that it has a triangle peg in it. Apparently the toy is too easy and it needs a third peg, a triangle peg. We made a round peg, 1 inch, extruded to 3 inches. We made a square peg, 1 inch by 1 inch, extruded to 3. Now we're supposed to make this triangle peg. So I'm going to show you what I think is an easy way to do it. There's a couple different ways to add this triangle hole into our pegboard base. You could actually open up just the base and add the hole, or you can edit it right on the assembly, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pop up my assembly here, and I'm going to double click on my pegboard base, about in the middle where I'm going to put that triangle peg. So what I'm able to do now is I'm able to edit this part so that it has a triangle hole. So I'm going to click on the pencil, and I'm going to click where I want to put that triangle hole. And I'm going to use my line tool. Now it has to have similar dimensions. It has to be 1 inch wide and 1 inch tall. So I'm going to come down here and off to the left a little bit. I'm going to make a point so that I have this 1 inch line. I want to make sure that the bottom of the triangle peg lines up with the bottom of my circle and square hole. So I'm going to click that, and it has to be 1 inch wide. So I'm going to type 1. Now if you find that your line doesn't fit in there, you might want to move it. You might want to undo and move it till it fits in there. Now I can actually get, I want it to be centered on the line. I can get some guidelines here. This is centered with the base, but I want it centered with the line, and I want it to line up with the top. So I'm looking for a couple guidelines. I have one guideline where it's centered with the line. I have one guideline where it's centered with the top. I'm going to click that point. And I'm going to complete my triangle. So now I have a triangle that it's 1 inch wide and it's 1 inch tall. I don't know the lengths of these angled lines. That's not important. That distance isn't important. What's important is that it's 1 inch tall. So everything's proportional. So I'm going to go finish sketch. And I'm going to go to extrude. And I'm going to extrude this as a cut, this triangle hole. Make sure you select only the triangle and nothing else. And then I'm going to check it. So I now have my triangle hole. I am done with that part. I'm going to return to my assembly. Now I have to go and I have to make the triangle peg. So I'm going to go New, Standard IPT, and I'm going to create. Pencil, front plane. Now actually making the triangle in the right dimensions is a little harder than making the hole, and you'll see here in a moment. I'm going to go line, I'm going to click on the center, and I'm going to go 1 inch. Excuse me. Click on front, give myself a little bit more room to work. Instead of just going up, you can see I have this point here, and instead of just going up, there's different approaches to this, but I feel more accurate if I place a point in the center. So height isn't important right now, it's just that I get that guideline for center. And then I'm going to go over here to dimension. I'm going to click on my point, I'm going to click on my line, and I'm going to give it a value of 1 inch. So it goes up a ways. There we go. Now I know that my triangle is going to be 1 inch wide, 1 inch tall. I'm going to go to line, and I'm going to use the line tool to go to my point and make my triangle. this triangle should be the same size. Finish sketch, little house, extrude, 3 inches, just like with our round peg and square peg. Okay, little house in the view cube so we can see that. I'm going to go up here to color, and looking at our document, it was blue. So I'm going to try and find a nice blue, and not pool blue. Sky blue medium, tropical blue, turquoise. Oh, how picky do I want to be? Tropical blue? I'll live with that. Alright, we're going to do a save as on this. It's in my folder, and I'm going to call it triangle peg, and I probably already have one of these, so I'll end up replacing it. You can see that whole list drops down from all the triangle pegs I used to make. Hit enter. Do I want to replace it? Yes, that's my new triangle peg. Let's look at that. Maybe not the best blue. Now, when we go to constrain this, we have to watch for our shorter side. Not all 3 sides are equal, so I'm going to constrain the shorter side towards the bottom part of the pegboard base first, so you'll see that here in a moment. So I'm going to go to my assembly, and I'm going to go place. I'm going to look for my new triangle peg in my massive list of everything. Nope, that's not it. Uh-oh. Pretty sure I saved it in this folder. Otherwise I don't want to use any of those. There it is. Just type it in. Okay, I'm going to hit escape. Let me swing this around. I think I can see my shorter end. Because you want to make sure the shorter end lines up with the shorter end. Otherwise, you're not going to get this thing constrained. I'm going to go to constrain. I'm going to use a mate for type and a mate for solution. It's going to be almost identical to the process of constraining the square peg. I'm going to click on that surface, and I'm going to grab my view cube, and I'm going to click on that one, and apply. Okay. So I got that gap there. If you need more of a gap to work with, because you do have to zoom in on that, you can drag that, open that gap up more. Makes it a little easier to do your constraints. Now I want to make sure I pick that whole side there, and I want to make sure that I zoom in and pick the whole side, not a line, but the whole side. If you pick a line, you'll be stuck to it, and apply. Let's close that. Go little house on the view cube. Let's set that like that. And it works just fine, just like our square peg, just like our round peg. Alright, now we're going to be ready to move on with the mallet activity. The mallet head and the mallet handle are going to be 2 separate parts, and we will do that next time. So, hopefully you have good luck with this triangle peg. All you need to do now is go up here and click on the disk icon to save it. I'm going to say yes to all. I want to save all those parts and click OK. And we should be set. So until next time, good luck.